Hello everyone. Today our topic is about cultural exchange in Taiwan. We will interview some foreigners we meet in the night market which near our school. Now, let's take a look at our interview video.
My time. Yeah, I was spend go school, play around, study. Like this is spend my time. The three question is for good or bad. What will your teachers listen to your grade when they were good and when they were bad? When they bad, punish him. Punish. You know punish? No. If you bad, you punish. Oh. Understand.
Did your parents check this your grades?
Yeah, like.
Yes. And okay. And did you have any good teachers who inspired you when you were a student?
Spell.
This.
You read. You practice. Did you have any good teachers who inspired you when you were a student? Tell me everything or her. Yeah, good teacher explain to you. If you don't understand, the teacher explain to you. This?
Okay. And what do you think about the
Taiwanese education system? The people study too much.
Oh yes.
Go to the school morning, after school go to Puchipang, after Puchipang go to home to study. Study too much, man. No time to relax. Because when you are young, must to play. Study 7 hours, after play all day. Because you young, you must to play. When old, no play, but when you was young, you need to play more around. But in Taiwan, people after home after school go to Puchipang, study more and more. No time to relax, to play. Too much study.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, hold on. And how do you spend your time at school during junior high school?
Oh, it's a long time ago.
Oh,
That is 45 years ago.
wow, 45 years
Ago, I can't remember.
Oh, okay. And the third question is for good or bad. What are your teacher? There.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What were your teacher reaction to your grades when they were good? Most of the time they were bad.
Bad?
Yeah, I was not a very good student.
Oh,
But at the end, I worked hard, so I graduated. So at the end, the teacher was very happy with me.
oh.
Next question.
This is first question.
Did your parents ask? And they were also very happy with the grade. Yeah.
It's good.
Is that what you mean?
No.
Did your parents ask to see your grades?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to show them because they gave me money.
Give you money?
I got when I got my grade, I got a scooter for my parents.
Wow.
So I had to show them my grades.
Okay.
Next question. Cool. The one who inspired me most was the geographic teacher, because he was telling all kinds of stories about all kinds of countries in the world. And that's why I'm traveling now. That's why I'm here in Taiwan. And I like to travel. Last year we were on holiday in Mexico and in Cuba, and this year in Taiwan. for 2 weeks.
I love to around the world.
Yeah. What do you think about the? What do you think about the Taiwanese education system, school system? When do you have to go to school? How old are you? When a kids? 5, 6?
7 or 8.
When they are 7 or 8?
Yes.
And how old are you? 19, 20?
We
19.
20. And you?
18.
18. And you? 18. And you're in university now?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you studying?
Physics.
Physics.
Yeah.
And you?
Chemistry.
Chemistry. And you? Wow. There's something for boys or not? Are there many girls in Taiwan doing that? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Have you any other questions? Do you want to know something from me?
Something for me.
Oh yes, we have last question for you.
Okay.
What Taiwanese food you like?
You like?
The weather. And in Taiwan, it is very clean.
It's very nice people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Friendly, helpful.
In Taiwan, it's much cleaner than in Europe.
Really?
Really. If you go into the nature, there is no rubbish. There is no. Everything is clean. You find. Okay.
Okay.
How was the video? Good.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taiwan is country full of tests. When the happy time of preschool ends and the time of high school comes, Taiwanese students have to confront a great number of quizzes, tests, and exams. Among all the tests, two most important ones for students are the entrance examination of senior high school and universities. In the past, since the compulsory education was only 9 years, students had to take an exam to enter a senior high school, especially a reputable one. Thus, Taiwanese students always study hard in order that they can get a good grade on the entrance exams. For example, they practice considerable exercises, especially by testing, and go to cram schools after school. Then, after entering a renowned senior high school, students have to repeat the same process to enter a prestigious university. The 9-year compulsory education had been carried out for more than 40 years, since 1968. Until recent years, more and more people in different fields have a common consensus that students suffer from so much pressure of tests, and that tests cannot truly examine students' abilities. Meanwhile, the government has also been raising a variety of policies which can alleviate students' pressure and make students develop versatility. The 12-year compulsory education is influenced under the background. Likewise, test-free admission and admission by recommending, which both are access to senior high school and the universities, depending on students' grade at school rather than the grade of the entrance exam, are also one of those policies. However, as for the 20-year compulsory education, it is really in tentative measures. First of all, in Taiwan, testing is most direct method for teachers to realize whether students understand thoroughly. Thus, teachers do not stop testing even though the compulsory education becomes 12 years. Moreover, since most of Taiwanese students will not study hard if they do not need to test, there will be more lazy and arrogant students who have no useful knowledge in Taiwan. What's worse, the government does not make a complete, specific, and detailed plan, and thus many teachers, parents, and students all have little idea to adjust to the new measures. On the other side, test-free admission and admission by recommending are great measures because some excellent students usually feel nervous and perform unusually on those important exams. With the access expected for the testing, those students can also enter prestigious schools instead of worse ones. Nevertheless, students still do not free from the test hill. They still have to do well on those enormous quiz, tests, and exams at school so that they can get beautiful report card to apply a well-known or ideal school. Although tests are actually too many for students to shoulder, they also have to exist. It is certain that tests cannot examine students' abilities exactly, while they are rather reliable and fair. In other words, they are the most appropriate way to decide which school is suited for which students. Hence, the government cannot just think about how to decrease tests to relieve students' stress, but should come up with a good idea to make good use of tests to cultivate talented people. Making the education system perfect is what the government and other experts in different fields should do.